Alright, welcome everyone to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. I actually, it just came out a couple days ago. I just went and picked it up and just finally got loaded into it, and this is where we start. It is a pitiful excuse for a shop, but it's what we've got to work with. So, I've seen a couple other people out there playing the game, and thought I'd give it a shot myself. I've never played, you know, any of the Mechanic Simulator series of games, or actually any of them for that matter. But it looked kind of cool. I used to be a mechanic years ago before I became a truck driver, and I figured that it looked kind of cool, and I want to give it a shot. So we're going to get right in and see what we can do here. So I've got the basics of the controls down, and so let's see what we got in here. A year and a half ago, I bought my son this car. So he's not interested in anything he's filling it at the gas station. Please check the oil and the tires. Alright, sounds simple enough. We're going to check oil and tires. That's easy enough. Alright, let's see. We need to move the car. And let's take a look under the hood, see what we're working with here. Alright, so we need to replace the air filter, the tires, and the fuel filter, and then change the oil. Pretty simple enough. Let's see what we can do. Actually, first things first, let's get out of this. We need to get this thing up in the air. That would make the most sense. Go ahead and get the oil drained out of this thing. Simple enough. And then remove the oil filter. Easy enough. And we'll go ahead and lower it back down so we can get in here. Alright, so to take off the airbox cover, little clips. Now, the thing I've noticed about this game is some stuff is really similar to the way it would be in real life, you know, with little clips on the airbox and, you know, all the little bits and pieces here and there, but then other stuff, they've either got way too many bolts or way too few. You know, and and the other thing is, it's strange, nothing in this game is plumbed. There's no hoses, no real wiring, there's nothing there. So, I don't know if that's a thing that they could do. It'd be awesome if they could. I'm assuming that's rather difficult to program, though. I am not a game programmer. I drive a truck. That's as technical as I get. So, but, from what I'm saying, I mean, the game looks amazing. And controls really well. You know, it's at least that's what it feels like. But I don't know. I like it so far. From what I've seen out there from people that have played it and all that, it seems like a fun game. So we're gonna go ahead and get all these tires off, get them out of our way. Alright, there's tires. So, we've got our tires off, we've got our air filter and fuel filter out, our oil and oil filters out. So let's go ahead and put this thing back up, and I'm guessing we're going to have to order parts. So, we need some 205, 55, 16 tires, an oil filter, air filter, and fuel filter. Seems simple enough. Alright, let's see. Parts. Need one of these. One of those. One of these. And then tires, which are tires again. 205, 55, 16. So we go to tire shop. Oh, and there's all kinds of tires. Okay, so what kind of tires are these? These are... No, I don't want to do that. I don't know what kind of tires are. We're going to have to go ahead and separate them. So we'll zip on over here to our tire machine. And separate it out and see what kind of tires we're actually working with here. Because apparently it's a little bit more technical than I thought. Some of the videos I've seen, I saw, you know, that you could put different tires on it, but I didn't know that you actually had to put the right tires on it. That may be an issue. So, and it would help if I had checked before I went to this. So we are looking for a standard tire B, 205, 55, 16. So standard tire B in 205, 55, 16, and we're going to need 4 of those things. Alright, so now we have parts. Now the one thing I will say, it does make it a lot easier on you to separate wheels and tires and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Because normally this is really freaking hard work, and it sucks. Because, I don't know about y'all, I live in Texas, and it is hot, hot, hot. I do not like changing tires on a tire machine. There's times you have to change tires without a tire machine, and that really sucks because you have to do everything by hand. You know, but they got the basic mechanic of it down. It spins around, pulls the tire off. You know, that's basically what it is. So we'll go ahead and separate all the old tires off. And then we will put the new tires on. And let's see here. So we need this rim and that tire. Sure, go ahead and fire it up. And apparently, installing a tire is a lot louder than removing one, according to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Apparently, if you're putting on a tire, it's loud as all hell. Pulling off a tire, though, is completely silent. That is no noise at all. So, more power to him. If it makes him happy, it makes him happy, and I'm happy for him. So, we'll go ahead and finish getting all this installed. And we'll get this car finished up. So I've got everything mounted, and from what I've seen in other videos, this little red marker down here means that they need to be balanced, which would make sense. You know, you put new tires on, you want to get them balanced. So we'll go ahead and get that bouncing. From what I remember, it took forever, because I was actually watching Diesel Designs Gaming play, and yeah, that's going to take a minute. So while that's doing that, we're going to get under here, and not suspension. Well, I guess suspension, it wouldn't really matter. But we are going to go ahead and put our oil filter on. Get that put on. We can zip back over here, grab this thing, and throw another one on there. Oh, that's not what I want to do. This one, I want to balance that wheel. Sure. Alright, we'll go ahead and get a tire on here, standard tire B. Go ahead and put that on there. And yeah, normally when you're putting tires on, you do this in a cross or in a star pattern. But, you know, that's real life. This video game, not as big a deal. In a video game, you just get it close enough. And it's close enough. So... But yeah, in real life, you'd, you know, set your tire up there. And start with one, and then skip one. And that's the way I always did. I'd skip over one, go to the next. And that would be your star pattern. In real life. Now, being, like I said, being a video game doesn't matter one bit. It's not like you missed lug nut day at school and the tire's going to fall off. Nobody cares. Any which way is good. You know, whatever makes you happy. So, but no, yeah, so, but, I mean, so far, it seems, you know, reasonably close to what you would experience in the real world. Granted, I'm a lot cleaner than I would be in the real world. Normally just this much and you'd be covered in bits of rubber dust and just grime and nastiness, and yeah, it's not fun. Any of you that have worked on cars, you know, in real life, you know, either professionally or just as a hobby, you would know it's not fun at all sometimes. But, you know, that's just the way it goes. That's how it works. So we're going to go ahead and get these tires on. Alright, and that, I believe, takes care of our work under the car. So we can now come to the engine bay. And not... No. Let's see, we need to go back to normal mode. Click on the engine, and then go to part mount. And we want to put on our air filter. Jesus Christ, we are really close to that air filter. Back up a little bit. Alright. Got an air filter cover, and then all these tiny clips, which in this the clips come all the way off, which is kind of strange. In most air boxes, they actually are kind of hard mounted to the lower half of the air filter housing. But that being said, they also don't go on just, you know, you don't just clip them on. You know, we call them Jesus clips, because them and like the C clips, we called those Jesus clips because they'd, you know, you'd go to loosen them and they'd spring off in the middle of nowhere and you'd say, go, Jesus! And you'd go flying off. Those were the Jesus clips. But, I don't know, we need to put our fuel filter on. That might be a thing we want to do. Put that back on right there. Alright, so that should... Oh, nope, I need to put oil in it. That would also be a thing we need to do. Go ahead and put some oil in there. And I don't know how this game works, if there's a set specific amount, if you just go until it's full, kind of full, not really full. You know, you can check the oil and you see it's where it's supposed to be, but I don't know if it's because I did that or because, you know, as long as you touch the oil can to the oil, it does its job. You know, I don't really know. But, so it looks like everything has a check mark, and there we go. That's our first car done. So, not bad, actually. Not bad at all. So, let's see what else they got for us. So, we'll check our orders. And, we've got one of these. We'll go ahead and grab that one. And, oh, Jesus. The other thing I don't get is how all these cars, you know, they show damage with rust. And while I get it, in real life, a car like this is not going to be rust. This is going to be made of plastic. There's no rust there. So, while I get you have to show wear and tear somehow, we'll go ahead and pull this one in as well. Why not? You know, we got the space. While I understand you have to show wear somehow, I don't know why they chose for the body panels to be rusted. You know, they couldn't have dents or scratches. You know, well, they got the scratches, obviously. If you look, you can see it's all scratched to shit. Looks like somebody went to frickin' town on this thing with a pair of keys. You know, took their keys, played tic-tac-toe and everything else on the hood. But, you know, there's no... like, it's not dented or anything, but it shows rust, you know, which is, well, granted, if you live in the Northeast, I guess is a thing, but, you know, down here where I'm from, it's not that kind of deal. So, alright, on this one, we have brake problems. Alright, so we have an ABS pump, brake disc, brake pads, brake caliper. Alright, well, our ABS pump should be up top somewhere. There's our ABS module. Pump. There we go. So the module is going to come off, which has a bunch of teeny tiny little screws. And we'll go ahead and pull all those out and get the module out of the way. And then pull out the ABS pump, which comes out without any problems. Okay, so I'm going to put that back in real quick. In real life, these 4 lines on the top would be the ever-loving death of you. There's no way this thing would come off in one piece. You'd have to replace lines and break things, and it's yeah. If something's that rusted, it's not coming off in one piece, and it's not going to be fun. So, now what I've seen is that there is a... Well, I guess it's got to be facing the car. Is it an examination mode? Overview mode? Yeah, overview mode. Okay. So that's our bad caliper. But I moved, apparently, and that it doesn't like it when I do that. Alright, so there's the bad caliper. It doesn't really show us much else as far as what's bad. So we'll start up here and go ahead and pull this wheel. Hopefully this will be all of our problems and we won't have to go and pull apart all the other wheels, but we'll see. So this brake caliper was obviously toast. We'll go ahead and pull that off. Pull those 2 bolts out right there, which I do like that they show the bolts. You know, they highlight them for you so that you don't, look around for them for an hour and a half like an idiot. But you know, at the same point, it's also that's good. That's not good. Well, I mean, it is good, but that's not our problem part. Okay, so it is nice that they highlight those bolts for you, though, so that you don't spend an hour and a half, searching around for bolts like you do in real life, which sucks. I have 2 Chevy truck engines torn apart in my garage right now, and even though I've pulled them apart, I've pulled, Chevy 350 engines apart all my life, several times. I've rebuilt several of them. There's something I'm very, very familiar with. You still forget where things are, because every time you go to work on a new truck, somebody else has touched it, and things don't work the way they should. Things aren't where they should be, so you end up having to search around for a bolt that somebody put someplace that shouldn't be someplace, things like that. So basically they highlight everything, make it easy for you to do. But I'll go ahead and pull this all apart and see. Oh yeah, that looks like a bad rotor. So we're going to go ahead and pull this caliper off. Brake pad, whoop, don't need that out of the way. Put the brake pads out of the way, and the disc. Alright, so on this thing we had 1 bad disc, bad brake pads, bad brake caliper, and ABS pump. So I know we've got the ABS pump, so we should, let's see, oh, and I did not get rid of anything from the last car, and we still have rims and tires. Oh, that's from this car. Duh. Yes, so we've got a completely dead brake disc. We've got a completely dead set of brake pads, completely dead brake caliper, and ABS. Okay, so we've got all of our bad parts. So we should be able to go. We can't. Alright, yeah, we can't order parts from here. We've got to go to the computer. We've got to unlock the tablet to order parts at the car. But we'll go ahead and get all our brake parts. So if we type in brake with an A instead of E, and let's see, so we need a brake caliper, we need a brake disc, we need brake pads, and then we needed a ABS pump. $950. Wow. That is an expensive ABS, but well, I guess it could be worse. So, we have all of our parts now, so we can go ahead and put this thing back together. Let's see. Now, in the real world, this entire car, all this is jacked. If your rotors look like that, your brake discs, they're just, it's toast. It's done. Replace them. They've been gone, you know. But I guess in Car Mechanic Simulator world, that is completely fine. Why not? So, if that's the way they feel about it, that's what we'll do. And also, it's very strange because you'd never do one side. You know, if it's the front, you wouldn't do the left side or the right side. You just do both. You know, and because brake pads are sold in pairs. You know, for the front and the back. So you'll have a front pair and a rear pair, and you wouldn't just replace, you know, one side. That's not really a thing. But again, video game. Why not? We'll go with it. So we'll put this all back together. Alright. Got that bit on. Head over here. Helps if I'm putting the right parts back on. Oh, and that looks shiny as all goodness. That is wonderful. And we're putting crappy brake pads back on it. Why not? Sure. That seems like sound logic. Brand new parts touching nasty parts that are, yeah. Alright. So this is more like some Motor Trend roadkill stuff, or some, you know, scrap mechanic kind of nonsense where they just take whatever parts will fit and make it work. Which, you know what, I've done it before. Sometimes you have to, but shouldn't be first choice. Probably shouldn't even be second choice, or even third. There's usually a good reason to do it the right way. So, you know, that would be my thought process. If you can do it the right way, do it the right way. But again, video games, so we'll let them slide. You know, Playway, they're doing what they can with what they got. You know, they did include a ridiculous number of parts in this game. They said it's something like it's like over 1,000 parts you can mess with on these cars, which I think is amazing for, you know, for the price of the game. That's an awesome value. But yeah, so there we go. We've got another one out the door, got a brake job done, and this one is another brake job. Alright, so we will get this thing moved over to the lift. That's the other thing. I will say is Playway needs to... I don't know where Playway's based. I don't know if they're based in the U.S. or overseas. I'm going to assume overseas. I don't know, though. But they need to send somebody out into a shop to learn what some of this stuff is, you know, actually called, you know, here in the U.S. Because you know, I've worked in several shops. We never called it a lifter. It was just a lift. You know, your brake discs are actually brake rotors. But you know, video game. So, but I've always found it cool to kind of compare, you know, the simulator video games to real life and see, you know, how close they can get, because pretty soon it's not going to be a question of how close can they get. It's going to be, you know, wow, that is actually how this works, and that actually looks really good, you know, in comparison with, you know, the real world. So, and I'd love for it to get to that point one day, because that would be great for guys that want to, you know, use a video game, especially like for training purposes, things like that. You know, if you can actually go into a video game and see every actual nut and bolt on a vehicle, that would be amazing, because you could virtually take your car apart in a video game and then know exactly how you would have to do it in real life, which I would find so handy, because if it had the actual physics of, you know, the actual tools we would use and, you know, all of those sorts of things, I would love it. You know what? I've got to get rid of some of this other stuff, because I've got extra stuff. But let me finish this up, because I don't want to get rid of, well, stuff from this car, because that'd be a bad day. So there's our ABS pump, our brake caliper, and our bad brake disc. But we also have, if I'm actually pointing at the car properly, we're also need a brake disc ventilated. So I'm assuming the front is where they have the ventilated brake discs, and we just need to figure out which side it's on, which we should be able to do from the outside. We should be able to see, yes, this is the one that's bad. And you can tell it's bad because, Jesus Lord, it is rusty as all hell. So, now the other thing I've noticed in this game is that everything is bolts. There's no nuts. Like your wheels normally have lug nuts and not bolts. Audis and Volkswagens, they use bolts, but for the most part you run lug nuts for your wheels, and so it's a little strange, but it could be worse. Again, doing what they can with what they got. I'll give them credit where credit's due. It is a good simulator. So, but listen, guys, I've got a lot of expectations for this game and where I want to take this series. Really, there's a lot I want to accomplish. I know, you know, a lot of people, they watch, especially like in 2015, Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. Everyone I knew watched for the restorations and the, you know, all the pretty cars when they were all done, finished, and, you know, ready for, you know, basically ready for a car show. So, I want to get to that point, and I want to do some really crazy restorations, and I really want to see what kind of DLC comes out, what kind of mods come out, because a lot of these, you know, games, a lot of games, you know, don't give you a lot of options for customizing cars and making them look and act the way you want. But from what I saw out of 15 in the videos I watched, you know, 2018 should have a lot to offer. You know, it should be quite the platform for customization of these cars. And considering even the stock base game cars, did I not buy a brake caliper? I guess I did not. I could have swore I did, but I guess I did not. Alright, back to the parts store. I completely lost my train of thought. I have no idea what I was talking about. Customization. Yeah, so, you know, I remember back in the day, you know, you'd play, you know, like Midnight Club and things like that, and, you know, you could do some stuff, and it looked really cool when it was done. You could do some really cool stuff with them, but I like the idea of a very in-depth, modification and customization system. You know, somewhere we can really get in there and make the car your own, you know. And as it is, you know, you can change paint schemes, and you can do custom graphics and all these other things, but I want to see what the modding community does with this game, because I know in the farming simulator series, there are guys that have gone absolutely nuts modding tractors and trucks and things for that game, and I would love to see that level of modding in a game like this, because I think you could do amazing things with that kind of modding support. You could do amazing things with car modification. You can do amazing things with customization. You could put anything, you know, as long as, you know, there's somebody out there to make the mod, you could build anything and put it into this game, and I think it would look fantastic because of, let's be honest, how fantastic this game looks in the first place, you know? So, let's check it all. Check. All right. That is another one down. So, there it is, guys. It's kind of our first look. I'm really digging how it looks so far. Let's see, what do we got on orders over here? Oh, we've got several cars that we could get lined up and ready to go. You know, I'm wondering if there's a way to change this from metric to imperial. And no offense to my metric friends, but kilometers means nothing to me whatsoever. I know that 60 miles an hour is about 100 kilometers an hour, so this is I don't know how to compute that right now. That's a lot of maths for the fact that it is very late at night. But yeah, I don't do kilometers. I don't know kilometers. I don't understand kilometers. I'm a truck driver. I do miles, lots of them. I know miles. So hopefully there's a way to adjust that. Granted, I don't know if it matters in this game how many miles or kilometers there is on a vehicle, but. And also, I've always, that's kind of strange. It says mileage, but it reads in kilometers. That's kind of odd, but anyway. So I think we're going to go ahead and pull an order in, and I'm just going to stack up the bays and make sure we're ready for what will be episode 2 here on Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. And I think we're going to wrap it up here, and I will see all you guys next time. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. Let me know in the comments. What do you guys want to see? What do you want, you know, in the future out of this game? What do we want to do from here on out? You know, we're a blank slate. Let's, you know, give me some ideas, some creative, you know, juices flowing here. We'll see what we can come up with. You know, do we want more restorations? Do you want to see, you know, let's play? You know, and yeah. So give me some suggestions, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.